Hey guys, I'm Renee, and today we're going to talk all about adapting to military life. So, she doesn't really sleep long during the day. The lights on, kids are making noise. Is she high? Is she high, mama? So, a little background, guys. I am an NCO, a non-commissioned officer in the United States Army. I have been in the military for almost 7 years. It'll be 7 years in March. So we're right at that place where I've been in long enough to kind of know a little bit about it, but not too long to where I feel like I'm stuck. So today I want to talk to you about the different phases of your military career and about adapting in each phase. So we'll talk about basic training. We'll talk about IET. So that's the initial entry training, basic training, and AIT, where you're learning to be a soldier and learning your job. We'll talk about your first contract. That's that first 4 years straight into the military. And then we'll talk about being a career soldier. So I am not indefinite yet, but I am a career soldier. I'm in at least my second enlistment. So let's just go ahead and get into the tips to success about adapting to military life. So this perspective, of course, will come from someone who is a mother in the military, but it can apply to anyone. You don't have to have kids. You don't have to be married. I was a single mom my first couple years. I've only been married for 3 years. So guys, it's doable. Regardless of what your home life looks like, it's doable, and I'm here to let you guys know. So in basic training, I was 27 when I joined the military, and my brother was National Guard, and I went to him. He was the only person I knew that was in the military. He wasn't active duty, but he had a lot of active duty time. He joined during a time when we were like at war, like seriously at war. He deployed about 4 times. So he, was the person I went to ask, like, hey, how is training? Tell me a little bit, help a sister out, especially since I was older, right? I was a mom, I was 27. I had already kind of settled into my life. So I need help. His advice was, act like you don't know nothing. I was like, what? Nothing. He said, act like you don't know anything, right? In your initial phase of training, act like you don't know anything, because they're going to tell you how to walk, how to talk, how to hold your cups, how to eat, how to do everything that you need to do. They are going to tell you how to do it. And if you just completely wipe your slate clean, don't go on with any previous knowledge, as far as this is how I like to do things, then you'll be fine, because how you do it and how the military do it is not the same. Okay. So go in with a clean slate, accept the instruction that is going to come for your drill sergeants, and go about that. Now, of course, they can't do anything or tell you to do anything that's immoral or crazy, but they're going to tell you how to walk, how to talk, how to dress, how to eat, how to hold your cups, how to do literally everything. And if you take that instruction and take it well, then you will do just fine in training. Also, you want to have an open mind. Let's say things are going to be different, right? You're not going to have your phone all the time. You're not going to be able to call your family. You're going to have to use different means of communication. You're going to have to write letters and just be a little bit different than you are used to, especially in the world of technology. So you have to have an open mind. You have to be willing to get to know the people around you, but please be mindful that a lot of people that are in training, we all come from different backgrounds, different areas. We have different views, different political views, religious views. And some people are there because their situation at home just wasn't that great. and they might get in trouble. So be mindful about who you hang out with when you're in training. Make sure that everyone that you surround yourself with is go-getters. They're really serious about their career and they're not getting in trouble. You don't want to be around people who are getting into trouble, because it's going to kind of taint your view on the military. The military is amazing, right? A lot of people who do not like the military are people who have had issues or instances, or know of someone who had issues or instances, typically things that they've done and they didn't like the outcome that happened because of that. So just be mindful, be open-minded, get to know other people from different places. Know that you'll have to communicate with your family differently, but also take that time to establish those relationships. I still have friends from basic training, and some of them are doing really well and some of them are just not in the military anymore. It's not for everyone. But in order for you to adapt, you have to be open-minded and know there's going to be people from all different places, all different areas, and guess what? So are you. You're foreign to them. So just get to know them on that level, establish those connections, because that IUT, that initial entry phase, is all about leaning on your battle buddies and together you guys navigating into the military, right? That first enlistment. So now I'm out of IUT phase. I've graduated from AIT. I know my job. I'm going to my first duty station. Yay, right? So how can you adjust to that life? First of all, I would say just know, right, that you don't really know your job. It's crazy. We go to training and they're going to teach you everything that you really need to know at your first duty station. Just know when you get to your first duty station, you really only know the bare minimum. So you really need to get to know your leaders as well as your peers and learn your job. I've said this almost in every military video. Learn your job. Now, if you're a medic like me, sometimes our first duty station, we're not doing anything to do with our job. Got it. Understand, heard, all of that. But it will allow you to learn other jobs. My first assignment, I was pretty much a sergeant major's assistant, right? Super weird, but I was able to learn the military from a different perspective, from a brigade perspective, that like one of the higher echelons. So I was able to see and learn all about the military before even like actually diving deep into it. My first couple years, I learned the processes and how things worked and how things came down, and ish goes uphill. I was able to see that, all of that, right? So, or downhill, ish goes downhill, whatever that is. I was able to see a different perspective of the military that I never would have had I not been in that assignment. So now I wasn't doing anything medical, but I was able to learn all about the military. And because I had that role, I was able to do more of my job because I was able to go to paramedic school. It came down the pipeline and she said, hey, you want to be a paramedic? I said, sure. And that's how I became a paramedic and was able to go to paramedic school, because I was in the right place at the right time. Yes, there were other people who were able to go from my unit, but I was pretty much one of the first people that learned about it, because when it came to brigade, she was like, hey, you want to do this? And my name was first on the roster, so super cool. So I do have soldiers who, they went to like Korea and they came back and they haven't actually done their job. It's okay. Take that time to learn about other facets of the military. Become more well-rounded. You have your opportunity, I promise you, to be whatever it is that your job is, your MOS is. But whatever your assignment is, learn it, do it well. It is a small military, so that is like my second tip, right? It's a small military. I had someone who was just in my office working with me. It was an officer, and then a year later, she was my company commander, right? If I was a terrible soldier, I feel like I said all these before, but let's say it again. If I was a terrible soldier, right, that would have carried me into that relationship with her later when she was my commanding officer. So it is a very, very, very small military. You will PCS and you will see people from previous duty stations, from training. You might see your leaders from basic and AIT at your first duty station. I remember running down the road on Fort Bragg, and I seen my drill sergeants, and I was like, scared. And she wasn't a drill sergeant anymore. She was just doing her regular job because that's a 2-year assignment. But to me, she was one of my drills. So just know it's a very, very small military. So you want to be on your P's and Q's regardless, all the time. You always want to be on your P's and Q's. The next thing for in your first assignment, first duty station, is to do something with your extra time. Go to school. Now, I told my soldier, because he's like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't want to go to school. And I'm like, I'm not one of those who's saying you have to go to school, but you really, really should. I highly encourage it, right? Even if you don't know what degree plan you want, go for general studies. Every single degree needs the same basic skills, right? Math, science, all of those, anatomy. No, maybe not anatomy, but you know, there's like 5 to 7 classes that every single degree needs. Do those classes, get them out of the way. And hopefully by the time you know what you want to do, guess what? You got all the basics done. Or go to trade school. The Army will pay for it, right? Go get a trade, learn to be a mechanic, learn to do all these other different things, because the military pay for it and you don't want to get out and not have any skills. And even if you're like, well, I'm a career soldier, I'm going to be in the military forever, ever and ever and ever, that's cool. But guess what? There will be a time when you're trying to get promoted and the person that you're up against got a degree and you don't. So use your extra time and develop your skills, go to school, get a degree, have a plan, all of those things. Okay. Last thing for in your first duty station is make friends, guys. All these soldiers are here in the same thing as you. They're far away from home. They live in the barracks, most likely. They make the same amount of money. They have the same skills. They're doing the same day. You know, make friends. We are all about family and a community-based system in the military. So make friends that kind of mesh with who you are. Okay, stay away from the troublemakers. I'm telling you, stay away from the troublemakers. Everything that's in the civilian world is in the military world. I promise you that. So stay away from the troublemakers, make friends with good people, have fun, you know, do things on your weekends and your time off, and just have a good time, because this is a good experience and this time where you're able to connect with people that you probably would never have met before. All right, so let's jump into career soldier. 6-7 years in, you know, you got one more enlistment before you're in def. What do you want to do? First of all, you need to start writing down, if you haven't already, everything that you've done. Like, I cannot stress the I Love Me book. And of course, by the time you're a career soldier, you're already doing it. You're already keeping everything up. But this is the time when you need to make sure your NCOERs are correct. You need to make sure your evaluations are good, your ERB is straight. You need to at least take one class every year. Every year on your ERB, you needed to say a year in a class that you've done. You need to work well into all of your additional duties, right? So MRT or EO or SHARP, you need to grab some of those and actually put them on your ERB. Pick one that you love, though, something that you're really passionate about, so you can continue to develop and grow in that. It is so competitive to get promoted in the military now. Like, I'm sitting at E5 stressed out because there's really nothing I can do to get any more points. I'm just waiting for school, literally just waiting for school. And there's so many other people in that same boat. So you have to make sure that you are working competitively, right? Putting that additional edge out there, getting these additional duties and working well in them. Continue to be mentored by someone who is higher enlisted. So I always gravitate to E7s or E8s, or usually E7 promotables or E8s, gravitating to them because they made it, right? They're at the place where we're trying to be, and they've seen so much and been around so much. They can give you that expert advice for the military. So gravitate to them. I ask for mentorship. When I find myself in a situation where I'm like, I want to do this right, but the Renee in me is trying to come out and she want to cuss this person out. So let me go get mentored. That is all. I will text, I need mentorship. And they just laugh because they're like, who the freak asks for mentorship? I'm like, I just need help dealing with this personality because Jeez, you know, so it's always interesting, but you can always lean on these people who have that expert advice because they've been in the military 16, 17, 18 years. Now, if you joined late like me, the people who have been in 16, 17, 18 years are a year or two older than you. So they can relate and they can break it down to a place that makes sense for you. And a lot of times I do have to lean on my age because, ooh, child. There are different personalities and things, but at this time, you also need to start thinking about what it is that you want, because like one more time after you re-enlist, you're done, you're in depth, you're just going to do whatever the Army wants you to do. So you kind of have like one more enlistment where you can navigate. So where do you want to go? What do you want to do? I'm actually thinking about changing my job, which it sounds crazy, but it's not like it is an MOS change, but it's not like I'm going back to AIT. I will go to a different training. So I'll tell you guys more about that as I start that process. But I think that that would be good for me and my quality of life and my family's quality of life. And it's something that I think I would be good at. So starting to talk to people in that role. What do you do? How did you get there? Is this something that works for me? Can I watch your day? Can I see what actually goes into it? Because on the outside looking in, it looks great. But tell me more. You know, is this something I really should do, or should I just continue on the path that I'm already on? So this is when you really want to start thinking about long-term with the military. And what else can you get out of it, right? You don't want to just go with the flow. I'm never going to tell you just to go with the flow. And you also need to take that additional time and really start planning what you want to do. So me, about 12 months, 18 months from my ECS date, I am all like, okay, what do I want to do? How do I need to get there? Deadlines, this is this and this and this, and kind of putting the pieces to that puzzle together so I don't miss a deadline, and the times that I really need to like lean in and do additional things, I can do that. So we talked about basic training, right? Just keeping a level head, staying away from people who are troublemakers, and not, you know, you look like you're a troublemaker, but someone that you've actually seen get in trouble and you're like, or someone who's just talking just extra BS, you know, you don't need that. We all stressed out, you know? So stay away from those, keeping an open mind, and really taking instruction from your leaders. So that way you do what's necessary, you're at the right place, right time, right uniform, and you get through the training successfully. Once you get to your duty station, you want to learn your job, even if that job is not your MOS, okay? I was an assistant. I do a mean spreadsheet, but it's okay. And slides, the military loves slides. Like, it's just the weirdest thing ever. It's just like one page, pictures. I want everything on this one slide, period. So learn whatever role you're in and learn it well, right? And then understand that you will most likely see at least someone from this environment in another environment. So you always want to give a good impression, be yourself, but leave a good impression on your career, let's say, and then do something with yourself and with your time, right? Go to school, do something, or start a YouTube, right? Start a blog, start a business, do something. Don't just go home and crash and go to sleep. Like, you're just wasting a lot of your time and energy by doing it. Now, some days you gotta do that, but not all the time. Have something else that kind of drives you. And then as career soldiers, you really have to start thinking about what it is that you want and going after it, right? Making those hard decisions. Don't just go with the flow. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to see yourself? How can I get promoted? And then always have a great mentor. Like, you need a great mentor, not just some BS, not somebody who just happened to be in a way where after a certain amount of time you continue to get promoted, because it's not like that anymore. You need someone with skills, people skills, work skills, insight, a level head. You need someone who's really going to mentor you and push you and help you get to where they are, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. I am Renee. If you have not subscribed to this channel, you absolutely should. It is a mixture of things here on the channel. On Sundays, it is like a tips to success. These kind of have been the videos here. All types of things. Mom, family, love, inspiration, self-development, military videos. And then on Wednesdays, there are more lighthearted vlogs, grocery hauls. I do a lot of grocery hauls. Who knew? Who knew that the grocery haul was a thing? But it is. Grocery hauls, videos that bring my family in, just more lightheartedness in the middle of the week, because we need a little love in the middle of the week. So I would love for you guys to join the channel. Of course, join the squad. We're growing slowly but surely. I appreciate you all, and we have a wonderful community here on the channel. So let me stop talking, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.